Now I am going to explain the implementation class. Now in blueprint class we declare it as a exam class, or you can declare a student also, nothing wrong. And we declared 4 instance variables and 3 instance methods. One is set data, second one is test pass, and third one is print report. So blueprint class is required. Then once blueprint is ready, for n number of students you can find out the result. So through implementation class, now we named it as marks report. Now you see main I have written in that exam blueprint class S1 new exam, we call the constructor. In the previous program I explained, so same explanation is applicable to this. Thereafter S1 set data. Now actually in the same order, in set data, in which order you have given, here parameter should be, argument should be given in the same order. Name, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, that you have given. And then these are passed to set data method. In turn instance variables are initialized. Thereafter pass report, this is print report, S1 dot print report, then marks report is printed. So here one more student also in same code we have written S2, and this candidate, just let us see manually, and 54, 67 and 46, then total individual papers he passed, and aggregate 167, aggregate wise also he passed, he satisfied 2 conditions and he declared a pass. Okay, next S2, let us see set data. Arun 40, 50, 59. Actually individual papers he passed, he got 40 or more in 3 papers, and he is very unfortunate, and in aggregate he aggregate 1 mark, total 149. So 150 would have got, then you would have declared pass. Now because of 149, one condition is satisfied, second aggregate condition he failed to satisfy, that's why he declared as failed. Now in this manner you have to write the implementation class. So after coding, finally in the previous program I didn't focus on testing. Testing is a very crucial part. Before delivering your program, your system to the client, you must thoroughly test it with all probable inputs, and manually you have to check up whether it is correct results are correct or not. Now we are manually checking it up, then is 100% is passed, and this one he failed because of aggregate. Now I used one phrase, probable inputs. In this case, just apply your common sense and know what are the probable inputs. What are the probable inputs? Just I list out. In this manner you think. First one is this is individual papers, this is aggregate marks. So individual papers condition is satisfied and aggregate marks also is satisfied, then he declared passed. This is one group, passed group. And failed group, now we are talking about failed group. How many types are there? You have to apply your brain and know that. Actually, as far as individual papers are concerned, in one if failed, or 2 may be failed, 1 if failed, and 2 and 3 passed. 2 failed, 1 and 3 passed. 3 failed, 2 and 3 are passed. There are 3 categories. Okay, and individual papers he passed fully, and in aggregate he failed. This is another category. And 4 categories we found. 5th category, he failed because of one of these conditions, and paper 1, that is what you call marks 1, is exempted because he got 60% or more. Again, marks 2 is exempted. Marks 3 is exempted. He actually failed, but because of 60% or more criteria, he was exempted in marks 1, paper 1, exempted in paper 2, and exempted in paper 3. Actually, maximum in how many papers you get exemption? How many papers may be exempted? Maximum 2. 3 does not arise. 3 is exempted means 3 is getting more than 60. Then he comes under this category. So, what are the other possibilities? M1, M2. This is one category. You may be exempted in M1, M2. M1, M3. This is another category. Next thing is M2 and M3. So these are all, just to list it out, apply your brain how many categories of people are there and all that. So you have to test this type of inputs. You have to create S1. Just you change that. You change the 3 items and test. Then how many will come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 categories of students, probable inputs you can get. For all of them, you have to test. You should not take anything as granted without testing. Test and trust. That is the basic principle in programming. Otherwise, without testing some inputs, probable inputs, if you deliver it to the system, tomorrow your client will call you for maintenance. Again, you have to rectify that. And not only some waste of time, waste of money and all that. One more thing, you are losing goodwill. That also you must remember. That's why at testing stage, you have to test the program thoroughly with all probable inputs and manually check it up. All are accurate or not. Then only, being a programmer, your job is finished, completed. Then only you can deliver the system to the client. So again, client finds any problems in the program and calls you. Unnecessarily you have to, if it is done at the cost of your time and cost of your goodwill. Always you remember this. So the 2 programs you perform on your own and all that. After this, you get enormous confidence. You go through my program, nothing wrong in that, and you watch my lecture more than once, nothing wrong in that. Ultimately, you own it. That is your own concept. Then you write the program verbatim like this, without copying. Then now definitely several doubts are you face several doubts, and always it is a good feature, because whenever doubt comes, you try for getting clarification for that. So whenever you write it on your own only, your brain started working on that, and then only you can master programming. Understand?